Good evening, and welcome to Hanging with the Walkers. Here with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Greetings.
Good evening, and welcome to another awesome segment of Hanging with the Walkers. We are so excited that you decided to join us on tonight. We thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us on this Monday evening. So happy to be in the house with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker, looking dasher and damper as always. Thank you for showing up.
Amen. It's an honor to be here.
That's it. And we appreciate you. We are going to jump right in on tonight. Tonight, we have something that we wanted to share that is so on point, so much needed,
Yes.
because it's you and I tonight,
Yes.
just having a nice husband and wife chat, as if no one else is in the room except us. There's just some things that we know that need to be talked about
That's
that
right.
we normally don't just getting a conversation about. But tonight we want to share on the topic of get your house in order.
Mm.
Um, and when you hear that, you think to yourself, okay, now what is that conversation about? Get your house in order. If you're like anyone else, first thing you think, oh, does that mean something is going to happen to me? Um, does that mean that something has been said to say that I need to get it together? When you hear get your house in order, you say, oh, you know, speaking a word to me, or the Lord prophesying, or speaking to someone. But get your house in order tonight. And I want to start here. I wrote this book called We Can Make It Work. And in this book, We Can Make It Work, it discussed some various topics that we always get into our relationships.
Mm.
To know me is to love me. Knowing your purpose in your relationship. How bad do you want it? Patience is a virtue. Communication. Things like, are you equipped to birth your mate? When you feel like giving up, don't.
Mm.
When in doubt, don't shout it out. Intimacy, it's needed. And then stewarding your finances. And when we talk about getting our house in order, I started off the chapter by saying this is always a sensitive and serious subject in relationships, but it shouldn't be, because we say that we love one another. There is an old saying about women, what's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. We know that that's not true, but it always gets a chuckle out of the men. Your money doesn't always come from the government, period. It comes from God.
Mm-hmm.
He blesses it, it flourishes, and it overflows. So you have to truly see the scripture through a renewed mind. When we talk about stewarding our finances and being able to get our house in order, we have to start there. So don't look through the lenses of the world as to get a job. This is what we're going to do in cessation. This is what's going to help pilot or fund our house. This is how we've been programmed to think all of these years.
Mm-hmm.
Never thinking to ourselves that it is God who allows us to get riches.
Come on now. That's
So
it.
when we talk about getting our house in order, we have to get our house in order in every way, knowing that God is the head, then our husband, then the wife, and then the children.
Mm-hmm.
Because God feeds and gives the information. He gives it to the husband shares it with the wife, and she teaches it to the children. If it's in any other order other than that, then sometimes, no, most of the time, you run into problems. So don't look through the lenses of the world to understand and know how to steward your finances. And because of where we are, we always say we have a heavenly Father that wants to take care of us. He wants to take care of all of our financial needs. And we went to point out in this book that they're looking at two types of wealth systems, the Babylon system and the father system. The system you live under will determine how you view the world and make financial decisions. And because of the ultimate payment Christ made for you on the cross, you're given ultimate riches as a
Mhm.
son or a daughter of the king. And then God will have his way in your life if you let him. If you allow him, he will give you good directions as to what to do, where to invest, how to share, when to bless. He'll have his way in your life. He'll direct you, but you got to put your faith in him
Mm.
when it comes to being able to be a blessing in your finances. His dream is that we are blessed so the kingdom of God can move forward. And then do your part by believing God can and will in your finances. And I think sometimes that's where we fall short because we've been for so long trying to do it our way,
Mm.
trying to
Okay.
structure our finances our
Right.
way, trying to look at it as if I have to make this amount of money. I have to do this. I have to put this here. I have to put this aside. I have to do this and this. And if I don't do it like that, then it's not going to work.
Right.
But if we allow him to steward our finances, then we'll be able to get our house in order, single or married. I like to say that because sometimes we have a tendency when we tap on to hanging with the walkers, we think it's always about the married couples. We
Mhm.
were single before we were married, so a whole lot of things, information that we like to share, we want to make sure that we have strong singles so that when they shift from single to married,
Right. Right.
they'll have the tools that's needed
That's it.
and they won't be in the green like we were. You know, in the world, green means go. But in relationships, green is a teaching moment. It's a time to slow down and be taught what to do in our finances, in our emotions, in our business, etc. Luke 16:11 through 12, you know, we always refer to the word. A lot of times we
Mhm.
don't like to refer to the word if they're out in the street. They think that, okay, that's too deep, you know, you're trying to be too holy. But where do you think they got the information from? They just converted and cleaned it up so it doesn't sound like it came from the word, but it
Right.
came from the word. Luke 16:11 through 12, the NIV version says, if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who would trust you with true riches? Now that's scripture.
Mhm.
And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property,
All right.
who will give you property of your
Your own.
own? We're talking about stewarding our finances on tonight and being able to get your house in order. Good evening and welcome to Hanging with the Walkers on tonight. We're talking about a sensitive subject that sometimes make people hang up and get off the line
Yes. Yes.
called Get Your House in Order. And I just pointed out that in my book, I addressed stewarding your finances. When we travel to Luke 19:17, the New King James Version, he said to him, well done, good servant, because you were faithful in a very
Mm.
little.
Mm.
Have authority over 10 cities. How many times have you quoted that scripture in our Bible studies? Because you were faithful over a little, I can bless you with
Ooh,
many.
that's it. That's it.
Because you know how to handle it. You know how to steward your finances. You know how to get your house in order. You know how to structure it financially so that when needs are there, when things come up, rainy days,
Right.
storms, hurricanes, that we
Sickness.
sickness, that we're not
Mm.
in the red.
Mhm.
We already talked about the
Even
green,
storms.
even storms. Believers remain faithful in your tithes and finances. It's okay to become one in your bank accounts
Mm.
when you're married. It's okay to do that. It's okay to share. I've known some people that were not married, but they put their finances together. I know some that have not gotten married, but they have purchased homes together, investments and businesses together. Um, but they understood the concept that sometimes you can become one in your bank account. And this is where trust kicks in overdrive.
Mm.
Because if we are not legally tied to one another, it's something else to say, my money is your money, and it's in a place that both of us have access to it when my last name is not your last name.
Wow.
But they have done
Wow.
it. And I worked with a young lady, 18, 19 years, that they were not married, but they bought a house together. They had businesses together. Their bank accounts and everything was together until a storm came. And then the storm called an outside child, tipped them over, and made them realize that even though we were stewarding our finances, there was something that we need to do legally. And that's make you my husband, make you my wife,
Right.
because it was disturbed and shifted
Mm.
and then tied up, and hands were tied, and she was not able to access funds that was needed. She was not able to pay bills that was needed because red tape came into play.
And also go to Pastor when it comes to a will and a trust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Both are legal documents
Yes.
that can help distribute the access after you pass away.
Mm-hmm.
But they have some key differences.
Uh-huh.
A will must go through probate, while a trust can avoid it. Now, understand something now, that probate can be expensive, time consuming, and public. A will only distributes probate access,
Mm-hmm.
while a trust can distribute all access. A trust is a complete, complex legal contract, while a will is a simple legal document.
Hmm.
A will is similar and less expensive to draft than a trust.
Mm-hmm.
A trust can help protect access from creditors. You can use both a will and a trust to ensure your estate plan is complete. Funeral wishes, tax and debt instruction. But the most important one is guardianship.
Mm-hmm.
It's generally recommended to separate guardianship and finances for minor children.
Mm-hmm. A will versus a trust.
Will versus a trust.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have it? We're talking about getting our house in order.
Yes. 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 So important. So important. Um, we understand and know sometimes the hard way that we say that we love one another, whether it's in friends. I always say this: friends, family, business, relationships. Even there are friends that have covered one another and say, you know what? I know that they're not able to afford life
Mm,
insurance.
mm.
So I'm going to put a policy out on you because I love you and I care for you. Then we have children that are under our care that may not be working, but still need to have insurance because in this day and age, so many strange things have been happening and we don't understand. And we know the scripture says, no man knows the day nor the hour. We understand that. So we try to definitely look out for our children
Yes, that's right.
and place policies on
Mhm.
them. So if anything happens, we won't be crying twice. If you just joined us on tonight, we were talking about get your house in order,
That's it.
being able to learn how to steward our finances. My husband pointed out a great point. Less spending is done when funds are brought together. It allows you to sit down and have good direction with bill paying and frivolous spending. And bill paying together creates more room to save for fun things like trips and getaways. Now, again, I reiterate, if you're single, you still need to learn how to steward your
That's
finances.
right. That's
You
right.
still need to know how to conduct yourself so that if there's ever a time that the Lord sends your Boaz or your Ruth, you haven't jacked up your finances to where you could be beautiful. You could be a shining star, but your credit could be worse than a scarecrow.
Yeah,
That anybody can see through it
exactly.
and understand and know that you are dangerous to be
Exactly.
able to join together with.
Mm.
So as I said, when we flow on hanging with the walkers, it's not just about the married couples, it's about the singles too, because we understand and know that you still have to get your house in order. Guess what? Nowhere in the scripture did you see that it says that we're going to live forever. So we have to get our house in order now so that we can do what the scripture says. A good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children.
Mhm.
And yeah, I know we're saying to ourselves, we got some kids that we're saying to ourselves, listen, if they don't get it on their own, they won't get it through my life insurance policy. But we have to get our house in order in a way that they can take care of our needs, our final needs, our final resting place. And a lot of times we don't like to talk about it, but there are so many things that are going on that are out of our control. And when we look, the situation has changed from good to bad, from bad to worse. And the only thing we can think to ourselves is, I should have gotten my house in order. This is something that I should have put into play. This is who I should have reached out to before. Now, as the scripture said that you read in Bible study, somebody else is going to dress you and feed you and take you places that you don't want to go, because I didn't get my house in order, because I didn't get my situation straight before situations change, time change, health change. Mom used to say, good health move out and bad health move in.
That's it.
So you have to learn how to trust God when it comes to stewarding your finances. Jeremiah 17:7 says, blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence in him. Trust him with your marriage, your finances, and your family. And lastly, don't forget that you have to make that thing work when it comes to stewarding your finances, when it comes to getting your house in order. It's not a fly-by-night statement. It's not a cliche. It's something that we have to do. And I always say, when it comes to relationships, if you love me, you'll cover me.
That's right.
Okay.
That is so right.
We don't think about that. We date, we understand and know this is what they have. They may have a house, they may have an apartment, they may have a car, they may be doing well for themselves.
Yeah.
And then here comes the question, will you marry me? And then we become one. But there's no thought or discussion about life insurance.
None whatsoever.
And being able to cover me and being able to steward our finances. When we talk about it, it's because it's a bump in the road. When we share it, it's because it has been a train wreck in our finances and we need to talk about it. Does that make sense?
Make a lot of sense.
So we have to talk about it before we get there. When we date, those are some of the questions that we need to be asking. Do you have life insurance? Do you believe in life insurance? Do you have oh my God. Do you have health insurance? Because we found out sometimes the hard way that insurance on the job that you say you had was really not there, because they were taking too much money out of your check. So you decided to cancel your insurance, and none the wiser until something happens. And this is not something that we are just sharing that sounds like something out of a book. These are things that we've seen, heard, and saw happen in our walk. To know that you lost a loved one, and to your understanding, they had insurance. But when it came time to pay the funeral home or set up arrangements, that insurance that the partner say they had never existed. Or take it another route, that you've been on the job all these years and you change insurance companies and you forgot to move one party to the other insurance. And something happens.
That's it.
And that person passes away. And all you can think to yourself is, did I put them on a new policy? Did I transfer it over? There's paperwork that needs to be read. As you said, a lot of times we lose a lot of things because we don't like to read.
Yeah.
Did we read fine print that says you have to sign this document? They may have been covered on this policy, but you have to sign this document to transfer them over to the new policy. and turn in this, this, and this. But sometimes we get slowful. Sometimes we are running. Sometimes we're working long hours. Sometimes we've gotten off, and then here it is another day. Then here it is another year. And if everything that you needed to do to bring it together to get your house in order, you failed to do.
But it's amazed me that the thought process that we have of why we don't get life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there are so many questions to ask when you're looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a common misconception about life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
It said, according to the same study, 38% of millennials and 29% of Gen Zs adults think it's too expensive, with many believing that a policy would cost more than 3 times what it really does.
Mm.
There's a lot of reasons why people don't get insurance,
Yep.
or the misconception of what the insurance policy costs.
Mm-hmm.
You just think about the money that you spend on an average month, divided up by 12, and what you're coming up with.
Right.
That's enough to afford life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when something unexpected happens, like it always does?
Right.
No one is prepared for death. No one has said, okay, at 12 o'clock today, I'm out of here.
Right.
So I'm going to have my house in order.
Right.
No one is setting it in order that way.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when it does come? What does it when it happens when death knocked on your front door?
Mm-hmm.
What then?
Yeah.
Is your house in order? Are you able to maintain the life that you have right now without your partner?
Right.
Are you able to carry on?
Mm-hmm.
Or will you lose everything?
Mm-hmm.
Have you and her sat down and talked about life insurance?
Mm-hmm.
Not just a group life insurance, which is on the job, because it only going to cover so much.
Right.
But what about personal life insurance? Do you have insurance that will help your family continue to move forward in life after you are gone?
Mm-hmm.
It is so adamant that we sit down and we discuss it not only with husband and wife, but with our children.
Yes.
Do our children have life insurance? Do you have children on your children?
Do you have insurance on your?
Do you have
children?
insurance on your children?
Mm-hmm.
And we walk around here, we're happy-go-lucky, but as soon as something happens, we're doing the GoFundMe. I'm not knocking anybody or anything. Things happen. But it shouldn't have to continue to happen at this aspect.
Right.
This has become so comfortable until this is where we're getting our insurance from. It's on Facebook of our pages somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And it shouldn't be that way.
Mm-hmm.
We have to encourage and strengthen one another. It's time for us to start investing in ourselves. Don't you know that you can borrow from your life insurance policy?
Yes.
There are some policies that you can borrow from. If you're going through a crisis right now, you could be able to borrow through your policy.
Mm-hmm.
You have to prepare yourself for what's going to take place, because we're all going to do the same thing, and we're going to leave here.
Yes.
We don't know when, but we are going to leave here. So is your house in order to prepare? Can your family continue to live the lifestyle that they're living now if something happened to you?
That's it right there.
Are you over budget right now?
Hmm.
That it take 2 incomes to pay the mortgage? Are you over budget? We can't be house broke, like they say.
Right.
Well, all of our money just tied up into bills. We're not even enjoying life. And this is a lot of reason why a lot of us don't get insurance, because we don't have enough extra to get insurance.
Right.
Because we're over budgeting. We're trying to live that lifestyle that is pleasing to the eye, but not living a lifestyle that is pleasing to us. It's time, my brothers and sisters. There are so many of us, GoFundMe. So many of us.
Mm-hmm.
So many. Right around the corner, in our backyard, across the street. So many of us. We see it time after time after time. When is enough is enough. When I'm going to say, I'm going to buckle down, I'm going to tap into what's really important, and I'm going to do the right thing.
Right.
I'm going to look after my family. I'm going to make this sacrifice. I have to give up something in order to get something. What are you willing to give up to give something to your family? It's time, brothers and sisters. Maybe you have life insurance, but maybe your neighbor don't. Maybe your uncle don't. Your auntie don't. Maybe your parents don't.
Right.
Maybe your siblings don't. Because the study is showing so strongly that 30-year-old man in excellent health can get a 20-year, $250,000 life insurance policy for $12.48 per month.
Yep.
The best time to get insurance is not when you get up old age, it's when you're young.
When you're young.
So parents, we are to encourage our children while they're young. Let me put a policy on you, so when you get up a certain age and get financially stable, you can take over this policy and you can have some insurance on you.
Yes.
This is the inheritance that we have to leave for our children. But how can we lead them something if we're not teaching them anything?
Yeah.
What are we showing them? We have to continue to move forward in the things that will continue to help us move forward.
Mm-hmm.
It says here, many people don't get life insurance policy because they believe the process would be inconvenient.
Mm-hmm.
They will believe that the process would be inconvenient. People think if they're young and healthy, they don't need it.
Wow.
People think if they don't have kids, they don't need it. People think if they're a stay-at-home parent, they don't need it. People think group life insurance through their job is enough.
And it's not enough.
It's not.
Yep.
People don't like to think about death. 17% of the millennials and 24% of the Gen Z's adults say one of the reasons they don't have life insurance is because it makes them think about their own immortality, their own mortality.
That's it.
According to their same study. Unbelievable. But my brothers and sisters, there are affordable term life insurance out there.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to look for some insurance, there are some individuals that we know. Pastor can put it in the chat that we can link you up with those individuals that can help lead you and guide you to the path of having life insurance.
That's it.
So you won't have to go fund me. Don't want to have to reach out and say and be begging. But that's what it is.
Right.
It's begging to bury a loved one, and not that it's not more stress
Already.
already,
Mm-hmm.
but to try to dig up money and find help to help bury you, it's got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to stop. I don't want to think I'm bashing on them or anything, but it's a reality check. And it's going to take all of us to make sure that we turn this around.
Right.
We have to turn this around. This stigma here that you don't need insurance, you need insurance.
Mm-hmm.
The shoes that you're buying, the clothes that you're buying, you can use that money towards get some life insurance. We have to invest in ourselves.
Yes.
And that's something that we've never been taught, is was invest in ourselves. Because when you get a life insurance policy, you are investing in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You are investing in what you work hard for. If you got a home with no life insurance and one income not going to do it, all that work you work hard for to go through to get that home, you're going to lose it as soon as you pass away.
Yep.
Because your spouse is not in a place to take care of it. But if you get a life insurance policy, that will give some and lift some of the burden off of them,
Mm-hmm.
where they're able to maintain and move forward. And we're not talking about no 10 to 15, 20, $30 life insurance. It costs you $40,000 right now probably to bury somebody. Decent burial.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So we have to get ourselves right. And for those that are already ill and sick, it's understandable that you're getting $10, $20, $30 policy. But we got to change the mentality of our kids having an insurance policy.
That's it. That's it.
We have to change that.
And it's so serious. We were sitting down talking. It was actually us, celebrating the anniversary and everything. And Pastor Roger said this: we talk about everything else, but we have to address this issue. We have to try to point those that we love, those that we follow. We have to point them in the right direction to be able to enable to help themselves. And as you say, is get your house in order.
Mm-hmm.
We have to help them to be able to understand and know the importance of being
Mm-hmm.
able to cover
That's it.
yourself, being
it.
able to steward your finances, being able to, as single people.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a lot of older senior saints that are able to teach the younger people, but they don't always want to listen.
Right. And not only that, Pastor, that we don't have life insurance, we don't have health insurance.
You don't have health insurance.
And you'd be surprised of the ones we talk to every day
Mm-hmm.
that don't have life insurance and don't have health insurance.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised. But just by talking with them and hanging around them, we'll swear they got their house in order.
Yes.
Until they close their eyes. On first day, we say, oh, I thought they had insurance.
Mm-hmm.
They were so well kept and so well groomed, and they had everything in order. I assumed they had it.
And it hurts.
Man, we can't keep assuming.
Right.
We got to ask the big question. Do you have life insurance? Do you have health insurance? Why not?
Yeah, you have to say it.
And we got to stop being afraid to communicate with one another, to talk with one another. If I'm hanging with you, and if I can't encourage you or help you, there's no need for me hanging with you. These are the questions that got to be asked. It's not being nosy. It's been concerned. It's being caring. Because maybe they don't know how to get it.
Right.
If I can share a little knowledge with you, you know what? Won't you do this right here? Then this right here happen for you. And you still won't have to even alter your life or how you live it. All you're doing is adding to it. Because we're quick to add something to us, but we don't add the right thing to us.
Yep.
So the adding part is easy. But is it right for you? We'll go out and spend $50,000 on a car, but we won't get $50,000 on a life insurance policy. We won't do that. And we're not going to pay nearly as much we pay for that car within 5 years.
Yep.
You can take what you pay on that car monthly payments when they give you interest, so you'll be paying $62,000 back. That's a life insurance policy, and you won't be paying no $300, $400, $500, $600 for it. We got to invest in ourselves. We got to change the way we think.
Yeah.
We got to look at things from a different perspective. We got to really tap into what's really important. What's really important to you? Ask a friend. Do you have health insurance? Do you have life insurance? It's time.
You know, I think back, and a lot of times we try to share things or experiences to try to help other people. And I'll never forget, I was young and my mom tried to talk to us about life insurance. We knew that she had the little street policies. We knew the little fellows, come around and collect the money. And, she leave the money in the, don't touch my money. That's that money for my insurance. And they would leave the little policies and leave the money, in the policies. And she sat down. That's why we're sharing. We're trying to teach now so we won't fall a prey. She sat down and she says, I want to talk to you all about life insurance. I want to talk to you all about being able to have life insurance, and me being older and not well. I know I need it. So I got it. I got my little card, my Medicare. So I got my health insurance. She said, but that's something that all of y'all need to have. Silly me. Well, I don't want to talk about that. She said, so I bet you got insurance on your job. I said, yes, ma'am, I got insurance on my job. She said, but if you leave that job, you're not going to have insurance. I said, well, when I get to the next job, I just get ignorant. I just get some more insurance. She said, but you can't keep doing that. She said, you need your own policy. So if something happens and you're not working, you still got insurance. She said, just going on. I don't have the patience, just going on. She got older, years passed, and she decided, I'm going to try it again. This time, she went to tell us, I have already picked out what it is that I want, made sure my insurance will cover this so that you all won't have to worry about coming out of your pocket. And I'm furious now. Like, why is she talking about this stuff like she finna leave us? I said, you're not going anywhere. She said, there you go again. She said, why you don't want to talk about this? And it's, as you said earlier, we have a fear of a loss. We have a fear that is going to manifest. We have a fear, lack of knowledge, that if something happens, Okay, we'll deal with it then. That's the mindset that we have. I didn't want to talk about it because I didn't want to think about, you know what, she might be trying to tell us she trying to leave here. I'm not trying to hear that.
Mhm.
I got in my car and I left. Then right after that, she developed this cough,
Mhm.
and then to the doctor, and then there was this mass in her lungs.
Mhm.
And I promise you, from one point to the other, it went so fast we didn't even realize it. And now here we are at this situation to where we're saying we about to lose our mama.
Mhm.
But she had sense enough, whether we wanted to listen or not, to get her house in order. And to our knowledge, we come together saying, you know, we got to do this, this, and this. And my sister said, no, you don't. I found this policy. Mama had paid for her insurance, made sure it was paid up,
Mhm.
paid for her funeral arrangements, her coffin. She even picked out the lining, everything that she wanted to have done, and practically planned her service
Mhm.
right up under our nose. Did she try to talk to us about it? Yes, she did.
Mhm.
Did we want to hear it? No, we didn't. But to our little bit of knowledge, we're thinking to ourselves, we got to get together and try to, you know, get some money together to bury mama. No, we didn't. So that's why it's so important. That's why it's so such a sensitive thing to us to get your house in order, to make sure you have health insurance. Considering the surgery that she had to have, and then going into ICU, what if she didn't have insurance?
Yeah.
I I got kids. My sister got kids. My brother got kids. What if she had sense enough, even at her age, because we run into people all the time that's 67 and 80 years old, 50, 67, 80 years old that don't have insurance,
Mhm.
don't have health insurance, don't have life insurance. And what if she was one of those ones that decided, you know what, Medicare gonna pay for me. My kids gonna look out for
And
me.
on top of it, those that do have life insurance, is it enough?
Is it enough? Is it enough? She made sure it was enough to do everything that she needed to do. And when we got to the funeral home, that's what they told us. This was a policy. She had already brought it up there to make sure that it was enough
Mhm.
to do everything that she wanted to have done.
Mhm.
And that's called wisdom,
Mhm.
because she didn't wait
That's right.
on slowful children that didn't want to understand,
Mhm.
didn't want to hear, didn't want to accept reality,
That's right. They want to face it.
didn't want to face it.
And that's what we're doing right now
Hmm.
today, Pastor. We don't want to face reality with our health insurance or our life
Or
insurance.
life
We don't even want
insurance.
to go to the doctor.
That's it.
We wait till we get sick. And I was one of those individuals. Never went to the doctor
Hmm.
until I got sick and
Hmm.
no choice. But now I'm there every 6 months, getting my checkup,
Faithful.
faithfully,
Hmm.
following through, following every order that they're giving me,
Hmm.
in better. Because I don't want to die early and I don't want to die wrong.
That's it. That's it.
And I don't want to leave my family in any kind of stress. So I make sure I have two policies
Hmm.
that if something happened to me, my wife and kids are well taken care of.
Hmm.
They might be crying, but they won't cry for long.
Hmm.
They'll be able to live and live comfortably
Hmm.
because we're living a comfortable life now. And I don't want that to change for them.
Hmm.
So me as the head of my household, the head of my family, it's my duty to make sure that I have enough to come in after I'm put away, that she would be sustained. Even with my retirement, she'll get that. Even with my Social Security, she'll get that. Everything is laid out in an order to make sure that she continue to live this life that I put before her with the help of my Lord and Savior.
Hmm.
We have to make sure we maintain this here. We say we love them.
Right.
Why should they be struggling after you're gone? Where's
Hmm.
the love in that at?
Hmm.
And we can't have the mentality where they're going to get with someone else. I hope so. I hope so. It's called life. It's
Yep.
called living.
Hmm.
What I'm going to do, come knock on the door? I want her to be happy. I want her to move on with life. I don't want her to be miserable.
Hmm.
We got to get rid of that mentality. Let's enjoy the moment while we're here. Because when it's all over with, it's over with.
That's it. That's it.
But make sure your loved one that you left behind is well taken care of. by getting your house in order,
Mhm.
by stewarding your finances, by
Mhm.
getting some life insurance, by getting some health insurance, by going to the doctor, by getting your checkup and checking on one another.
That's it. That's it. Because we love our hanging with the Walkers family, then we try to share and discuss things that we know that's going to help.
Mm-hmm.
If not now,
Mm-hmm.
then later.
That's right.
We talk about love, marriage, single, business, education. We talk about all of those things.
Mm-hmm.
But there has been so much that happened overnight
Mm-hmm.
that you can't even imagine the thought of all of these people first trying to locate a body, then trying to find out if their house was in order, and then trying to find out whether they were good stewards over their finances to put things in order.
Mm.
And all the education in the world is not enough to put you away.
Because what about the debt that they leave behind?
Right.
I mean, the bills that they leave behind.
Yep.
What about the creditors that are coming looking for their money?
That's it.
And they're going to take what they got to take to get their money.
Yes.
Whether the house, the car, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
They want their money.
Yeah.
Get your house in order.
Mm-hmm.
Get a will. Get a trust. Yes, wills are cheaper. Trusts are more expensive. But it's worth getting the trust.
Mm-hmm.
It's worth getting both of them. Documentation. Don't wait till they get on the sick bed and want to do it. It's
Mm-hmm.
opportunity time to do it now while we're in our rightful mind. While we're able to write our name. While we're able to spell our name.
That's
while
it.
we're still closing our right mind. While we still got using activities of our limb.
That's it.
While we're still moving forward and able to think and be on our own.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to sit down with one another as husband and wife, along with the children and grandchildren, and let us talk about the other side
Mm-hmm.
of the coin. Because we all going to go through this process. We're all
Yes.
going to leave here, but we're not understanding when we're going to leave here. We don't
Yes.
know when we're going to close our eyes.
Yes.
But now while our eyes are open, let us put the documentation in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
Let us move forward in the things of life insurance, health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Let us get wills. Let us get trust. Let us line things up the way they should be lined so our kids won't be fighting over it. Let us get out all of the secrets where when we know another set of kids come along and say, okay, that's my daddy too. Or
Right.
that's my mama too.
Right.
And no one know anything about them.
That's
There's
it.
too many secrets that are hiding out there.
Come on. Come on.
And we have to expose this here. We
Yes.
have to close this up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mistake that you made. True enough, it is. But it's time now to bring it to the forefront. No one should have to suffer, not even an innocent child that you brought into this world without anybody knowing should be suffering either.
Mm-hmm.
That they didn't know they had brothers and sisters
Yes.
until you close your eyes.
That is it right there.
How's that fair?
That
Where's
is
the
it.
love in that at? It's time for us to stop this here in the community. It's time for us to shut this down in the family.
Mm.
It's time.
Yes, it is.
It's time to stop hiding the secret because a lot of us know that it's going on and we kept it to the secret. But as soon as they die, you want to tell.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear it then.
Right.
It's time to tell it now.
Yep. It is so serious. It is so real. A lot of things, that's when you find out when they close their eyes. And how hurtful is that?
Find out mama one mama and daddy one
And
daddy.
daddy wasn't daddy.
Sister one sister and brother one brother.
Your name, not what they say.
What
your
they say it
name
is. How
Yep.
detrimental is that?
Mhm.
That I'm mourning the loss of you, but now I find out who are you?
Right.
That is most devastating than anything else in the world.
That's it. That's
And
it.
we have to share this with our children.
Mhm.
We have to tell the truth. We have to tell ourselves the truth. This is the only way that we can move forward.
Mhm.
This is why a lot of us don't have life insurance. A lot of us don't have health insurance. Why a lot of us don't have wills and trust.
Mhm.
Because we have that mentality, let them get it on their own. I ain't leaving nobody nothing.
Right.
That's the wrong type of mindset to have. You should have never even had any kids.
That is so
If you
true.
feel that way there. We have to leave our children something, but we have to teach them how to maintain. But we don't know how to maintain. How are we going to treat them? How to teach them how to maintain?
Mhm. Mhm.
We don't have life insurance and health insurance. Why should they get life insurance, health insurance? They never seen anybody have it. They never seen anybody discuss it. They never seen anybody balance out a checkbook, or manage a debit card, or manage a credit card. They never seen anyone do this type of stuff.
Mhm.
We never talked about our finances at home. All you know, the bills got paid. And
That's
so
it.
now you up in an age now and you struggling because no one ever taught you.
Mhm.
So you're doing the best you can of how to pay your bills.
That's it.
And you think that you're doing it right when it's not right.
Mhm.
That's why we need to get us a financial planner, financial advisor to help us in this area in our life because we don't know. Because what little knowledge we think we don't have no knowledge. We don't know anything about this here. This is our first rodeo.
Mhm.
We ain't been doing this all our life because we ain't been in this world all our life.
That's it.
It's time, brothers and sisters.
And if we have not taught our children how to be good stewards over the finances, that that house that you're planning to leave them, they could lose it. That car, you're saying to yourself, you know what, I'm gonna leave this car to you. But if you have not taught them how to steward their finances, did you not know that if the paperwork is not in place, that they won't even be able to hold on to that car that
That's
you
right.
said that I'm going to give to you if something ever happens to me?
That's right.
If that paperwork is not in order, they can't even transfer it over
Right.
to their name
Exactly. They can't.
because you didn't do the paperwork
You do
right.
paperwork right. Yeah.
If you're changing from one policy to the other, one marriage to the other, if you didn't change your paperwork, the inheritance that you say that you're going to leave for your children will go through probate.
Exactly.
And when it goes through probate, then there's going to be a loss.
Yes. It's a natural loss.
Because you didn't get your
Substantial loss.
because you didn't get your house in order. If we've been married before and divorced, are you sure your paperwork is in order? Are you sure the old name is off and the new name is on it?
Are you divorced?
Are you legally divorced? Do you really have papers?
Documentation.
And again, I say to you, this is not just something that we're saying because it sounds like a good subject or topic. These are things that we dealt with other people. Are you sure you're legally divorced from the person that you were with before? Do you really truly have their names in order? Do you really truly have your house in order? See, we're working hard. We're leaving an inheritance for our children. But legally, if it is not as it should be, then it's in vain. And they're going to have to work harder to get their house in order.
Because it costs you to go through probate. And what you have in the bank might not even be worth it.
That's it.
And that's the issue that we're having because we won't be open and honest with one another. We won't sit down as a family and discuss life insurance, discuss health insurance, discuss how to invest in ourselves.
That's it.
When have you sat down with your children,
your family,
and talked with them about your will, about your trust,
your desires,
about what you're expecting, about this, about that, your living will, your trust, your life insurance, your health insurance? When is that you sit down and talk with them? Do they know where the policy is?
Right. Is the policy that they know of, is it in effect?
It is in effect.
Oh my God. I'm telling
you.
And
is it accessible? Can they get to it? Or do they have to dig through a bunch of papers to find your will, to find your insurance policy? It's time, my brothers and sisters. It's really time. Time for us to get our house in order.
And if you have minor children, is there a beneficiary? Does that person know that they're the beneficiary? Because we understand and know that not until they turn 18 can they even do anything with what it is that you left them behind.
Right.
So is there a designated beneficiary?
Because you have to separate the guardian and children from the finance.
That's it. It
has to be separated because if they're minor, it's going to go automatically go into probate if there's no guardian over them. And then if you put a guardian over your children, are they trustworthy?
Right.
Just because we've been friends for 30 years, are they trustworthy when it comes towards your kids? Because, money changes things, change people. Can you really trust them?
Right.
So there's a lot that we have to sit down and talk about amongst one another. Yes. Do our grandkids have life insurance on them? Just because they're young, they need life insurance on them. And we have to put things in perspective. And so when they get up in age, they can take care of their own policy. We have to teach them, show them, hey, this is the policy I have on you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take care of this for you. But when you get 18, 19, 20, you need to start paying on this policy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can pass this on down to your children.
Mm-hmm.
This is what it's about.
Are there any ties or bonds that would stop you from being able to do anything with that policy to help put you or lay you to rest? Are there any ties or bond to businesses and finances that will stop that person from being able to use it to do what it is your last will is? How many times in the run of a week do we run into families that are not speaking? Situations have been prearranged, but there's been a shifting in the communication and a division in the family. So those that you put in charge are not speaking to the ones that are not in charge. So not only do you have one set of funeral arrangements, you have two sets of funeral arrangements, and someone trying to cover the expenses of their decisions and not looking at your decisions, not looking at your last will, not looking at your last request as to what you wanted, because they're over the policy and you're not. How many times have we heard or seen that? And because we're not speaking before end of life occurs, then I don't know what was decided and you don't know what was decided because we're not talking.
Right, exactly.
Or because I'm older, I feel as if I'm supposed to be in charge, but mom and dad left somebody else in charge. Now there's an argument and a division in the family because we didn't get our house in order. If you just joined us on tonight, we are talking about something that's so serious, that's so near and dear to us. Get your house in order. Being able to connect with someone like Joe North that was on the other day. They have family law in. They have a family law lawyer that will help you deal with these kind of issues in the North Law Firm. So thank God for great connections to people that we can lead you to, that we can refer you to. We have Swanelia Pierre that's in Fort Pierce that does insurance that we can refer you to help you be able to get insurance and get your house in order. We have Pastor Leslie Harrell over on the West Coast that does insurance that can lead you into being able to get your house in order. We don't have to wait until that moment. But I promise you, if we don't talk about anything else, this is something that we need to talk about. Because there are things that are going on in our bodies, in our minds, in our house, in our lives, in the world that you have no control over. We had no control over COVID. We had no control over Hurricane Helene. We had no control over Hurricane Milton. We had no control. But yet and still there was a great loss of life. Were there plans put in place? Was there uh, um, good finances of their good stewards of their finances, so that those that were left behind would understand and know what it is that I want and I desire? What about estate planning, power of attorney, being able to have a medical power of attorney versus a financial power of attorney? Someone that oversees your medical, but they don't have anything to do with your financial. Did we know that there's a difference? I can be able to make decisions over medications, surgeries, ventilator, but I'm not in charge of your checking and your savings and where your money goes. Did we know that that's possible, that we could do that?
That's it.
So we have to understand and know
That's right.
what our choices are.
That's right.
And be able to get our house in order. We have minor children. So because we have minor children, guess what we need to do? We need to get our house in order.
That's right.
Just because we leave home in the morning doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to come back.
All right now.
Just because you send your kids to camp and daycare, you see it on the news, doesn't necessarily mean those kids are going to come back. And do we have those children? We love them. We say we love them, but have we covered them? Have we put policies on them so that if something happens to them, we won't be crying twice. If you're just joining us, we're talking about tonight a very sensitive subject: get your house in order
That's it.
and being able to steward your finances. Yeah, you know, long time ago we used to talk about the women have the panty drawers, and they hide their money, separate bank accounts that you know nothing of. And I just love that Tyler Perry movie, um, where the husband went to the bank. He said he was going to get a couple of dollars out the bank, and the lady said, "Well, you have two bank accounts. Y'all have two bank accounts." He said, "What do you mean?" He said there's another bank account that's got over $300,000 in it, and one that's got like 300 and some dollars in it.
That's it.
So now here I am going home to discuss my finances with my wife, who I felt like we were being honest and open, and we knew everything about one another. I have a checking account. You got a checking account. I have a savings account. You have a savings account. But can those signatures cross to where I can get in and out of yours and you can get in and out of mine? Or is it
That's
just
it.
locked on one side? You can get in mine, but I can't get in yours. It's a rainy day. As a matter of fact, it's storming and I can't get not one dime
Mhm.
because my name is not on yours and your name is not on mine.
Exactly.
And we have cars. It's both names on the cars. So
Mhm.
if something happened and it's interchangeable, something happens to you, I can be able to steward our finances to be able to cover that
Mhm.
and hold on to that. Hold on
That's
to
right.
that legacy that you said that you have for the family.
That's it.
I'm telling you, it's
That's
it's
it.
something that we need to talk about, that we have to talk about.
Yeah.
Being able to get our house in order. And we don't like to share. We don't like to bring the subject up. We don't like to bring the family together. We want to bring a family together for game night. We want to bring the family together for movie night. We want to bring the family together for weddings and graduations and
Mm.
that sort of things. But do we actually get together to share with our family how to get our house in order?
And on top of that, brothers and sisters, consider this: the friends you hang with, the family you hang around. Ask them. Ask them in private.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, do you got life insurance?
Yep.
Do you got health insurance on your job? Ask them. Is it enough? I mean, they might get a little skeptical. Why you asking me all these questions right here? Because I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was listening to this show last night and it made me think,
Yep.
hanging with the Walkers, about us getting our house in order.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing the difference between term life insurance and whole life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Some want term because it's affordable. And it's affordable between 10 to 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then that's it. But when you get whole life insurance, the premiums are a little bit higher,
Mm-hmm.
but they build up cash value. And the premium are permanently as long as the premium is paid.
Mm-hmm.
Know the difference between it.
Mm-hmm.
What matters for you? What budgets for you?
Mm-hmm. And if you have life insurance, do you have the type of life insurance that you could borrow from?
Right.
Do you have equity in that life
That's
insurance,
right.
or is it just life insurance?
That's it.
Because it's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
We have what they call it 403b,
Mm-hmm.
501c3.
Mm-hmm.
But do we really know the ins and outs about those things that they share with us on the job? Do you have the Duck Affleck that you can take from your job to somewhere else, that if you're out of work so many days, Affleck will pay? Exactly. Loss of limb, loss of eye, this sort of thing, Affleck will pay. So do you have it to where you could take it from job to job? It's not that much. My Affleck paying plan, I've had since, oh my God, how many years? But my husband said to me, you make sure that you have the kind of plan that when you leave that job, that plan goes with you. Now, I've had Affleck before, but I never really thought about it. You know, then that's just money that's gone. But I'm glad I listened.
How much do we waste in that area?
That's it. That's it. And I think I've had that policy over 10 years. Yeah.
Because we don't invest in ourselves. We don't understand what true investment is when it comes to ourselves. We can invest in any other thing or anyone else, but we won't invest in ourselves.
Yes.
We won't look out for ourselves. We won't strengthen ourselves. We won't help ourselves. But we help every other entity that have to be helped. And we have no problem with it.
Yeah.
We'll throw money at it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to our own self, we hire money from ourselves.
Yes, we do.
And we're in control of our own finances.
And we have our little jobs that we have. Oh, it's not a big deal. It's just enough, you know. I'm just doing a little something, you know, to keep the edge off and this sort of thing. Well, what is that part-time job offering you? What is it doing for your finances?
Mhm.
Are there any benefits, or we're just doing it because it's under the table,
Mhm.
or something to do to keep us busy, sort of
Mhm.
thing? We're in the midst of doing that part-time job, or that other job, or that second job, or that third job. What is it really doing for us as far as our finances are concerned?
Mm.
Is it going to benefit us? Is it something that if something happens to us, or a shift in our health or in our life, is it going to do anything for our finances? Or are we just providing a service for them and they're not doing anything for us?
That's mainly what it is.
That's it. So
That's
we
mainly
have
what
to
it
think
is.
about all of that. And like I said, we may not even think about it. We have grown children and we say to ourselves, well, they on their own, they making their own decisions. And I think they have life insurance, but if something happens to them,
What then?
it's going to rebound back to
Yeah,
you.
what then? If
That's
like,
it.
what then? We think they have insurance.
But he
Do
got
you
a
know?
girlfriend. She got a wife. I mean, she got a husband. But does it mean that they have life insurance?
Yeah.
Does it mean that they have health insurance? And if they need surgery, they're coming to mom and dad.
Mhm.
So why not have the conversation?
That's it.
Why not ask?
Yeah.
Do you have life insurance?
Avoid the crisis before they happen.
Avoid the crisis before it happens. That's
Because
it.
they're going to happen.
Yeah.
Because these are by the design to deteriorate.
Yes, sir.
And they're going to deteriorate.
Mm-hmm.
So that means you're going to need some life insurance and you're going to need some health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Why not get it now? Because when you're younger, it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot cheaper. You can get $1 million policies on a penny at a young age right now. Help the young man, help the young woman.
Yep.
Get it now.
Mm-hmm.
You're spending the money anyway.
Yep.
It's time for us parents to truly sit down with our family and discuss these reasons of why we should have insurance.
And all we hear in a run of a day, but he was so healthy. She
Mhm.
was so healthy.
Mm-hmm.
There was nothing wrong with them. They
Mhm.
were doing okay. They made it through the treatments. They made it through that.
Mhm.
And then here we are.
Because we can't avoid the GoFundMe.
Right.
We can't
We
avoid
can
that.
avoid it.
I'm already hurting.
Mhm.
Now I got to try to bum up money to bury.
Yeah.
That's too much pain.
Mhm.
And we can avoid all that. We can, brothers and sisters. Not kicking on no one, knocking on one. Do what you got to do. But you can't avoid that if you listen and if you do what's really right.
Yes.
And stop thinking that death not going to knock on your door. Because it's going to knock on your door.
In your family.
And what then?
Mhm.
Then we got the GoFundMe page out there.
Mhm.
For what reason? When we in good enough shape, good enough health to provide, not only for our loved ones, but for ourselves.
Right. Right.
For ourselves.
And again, we say when you tap into hanging with the walkers, it's not just about conversations that are about married people. It's about single people too. It's you that's living your life. It's you that's driving your dreams and your visions. It's you. It's just you. So because it's just you, then you need to get your house in order. You need to make sure that you have life insurance. You need to make sure that you have health insurance. You may need to make sure that you stewarded your finances to where I can pay my bills and still enjoy my life.
A health insurance, they're going to pay you
Yes.
60 to 80% of your salary if
Yes.
something happened to you.
That's it.
Even in your car insurance, if you get in an accident, that car insurance will pay you 60 to 80% of your salary.
Mhm.
It costs a little extra, but invest in yourself.
That's it.
You in a time where you know they can't drive. You
Mhm.
know somebody gonna hit you after a while. Get some insurance, they're gonna help take care of you.
That's it.
Whether they pay you $200-300 a day just for being off from work.
Mhm.
They pay you $300-400 a day for every time that you're in the hospital. That money goes to you.
Mhm. And then health insurance is now,
Mhm.
when you have it on the job, they pay you little $50, $60, $90 to get your breast exam, to
Mhm.
get your lab work,
Yeah.
to get your pap smears. They give you incentives.
Get long-term disability.
Yes.
Get critical illness.
Mhm.
You got to get all this stuff for yourself.
Yes.
Because something happened to you, you're taking care of. Because guess what? Bill's still gonna knock on your door.
Yes, they are.
He's coming.
That's it.
And he won't hear them, and he don't take no for an answer.
Mhm. And how many times have you seen guys on the job go out for a job, something or a delivery that they had to have, and then you get a phone call and say that they got fractured legs, crushed pelvises, broken jaws, and everything like that. But when they left home, that's not what they left home to be injured.
Right.
They left home to complete a job and come back.
That's it.
But in the run of a day, something happened. And here they are in the hospital, not home,
Mm.
bills mounting up. Everybody's scared and afraid because they were not good stewards of their finances
Mhm.
and they didn't get their house in order. And I
And we,
pray that someone is receiving something from this on
and
tonight.
we had to teach our children how to save,
Teach our children. That's it. That's
how to
it.
save, how to invest,
hmm
how to get involved in stocks
hmm
and bonds and RAs.
And you know,
We
there
had
are
to teach all
policies.
this.
There are policies that from years ago that we knew nothing about. They
Mhm.
took out policies so that if something happened to them, they were a blessing to their churches.
Yeah.
They were a blessing to their ministry. Their policy was taken out so that if I'm under this ministry's auspice, that so much will go to my church and so
Mhm.
much will go to my family.
Mhm.
Did we even know anything about
Mhm.
that? We
Yeah.
said we love our church,
They had
love
two
our church
policies.
family.
Sure
Yes,
did.
ma'am. Yes, sir. So we're just saying this tonight. We just, we've been through some things and, just happy and had an awesome weekend. And then on the drive while we were just out, just enjoying one another, my husband said, this is something that we need to address. And I say, well, it just so happens it's just me and you on Monday. He said that would be a perfect time. That's what we need to do. We need to share with our Hanging with the Walkers family to get your house in order.
And look at another thing too, brothers and sisters. The storm just came through here
Yes.
of Florida.
hmm
Look how many people passed away.
hmm
They was not on that day
Unexpected.
and say, you know what,
Unexpected.
I'm leaving here today.
Yeah.
Unexpected death.
hmm
It happens to all of
hmm
us.
hmm
These are the things that we're talking about.
Yes.
The unexpected.
Yes.
Are you prepared for the unexpected?
hmm
Is your house in order for the unexpected?
Yeah.
Are you ready for the unexpected? We have to get ourselves together.
hmm
And now's the time to get ourselves together.
hmm
Stop putting it out. Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. No, do it now. Have that talk with your family. Find out from your kids, do they have life insurance? Find out, do they have life insurance on your grandchildren? Find out now.
That's it. That's it. On the grandkids.
If not, let's come up with a plan that we can get together and we can get a policy on these children.
Because a lot of times you don't. You cover
Yeah.
you cover the husband, you cover the wife,
Yeah.
but you say I'm gonna wait and get insurance on the kids, or you put Medicaid on them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. And which limits their benefits and that sort of thing, and their
Let's find out.
physicians that they can go to.
Let's find out.
We were watching the picture the other night, and the lady just went in the hospital. She was just having something simple. She had no idea that the guy was going to ask her to marry him.
Mm-hmm.
And they were in the hospital, and all of a sudden they found this spot on her
Mhm.
lungs. Now here I am. I'm getting ready to ask the woman of my dreams to marry me, and now she's fighting cancer and fighting for her life,
Mm-hmm.
and may not ever come out of this hospital. But this was a plan and a dream that we had, that I wanted to make her my wife, and we go forth in our life from here. But now they're looking at a situation to where she may never make it out of the hospital. So now here you are, you're not even married yet. Now I have to try to figure out what your finances are, what the situation is in your home, to try to keep it going until you're able to get out and do it. If you get out.
And on top of that, they're not legal to give me any advice about you.
Thank you, because we're not legally married.
It's all HIPAA.
That's it.
They
That's
can't
it.
discuss nothing with me about you. They
Nothing.
can't tell me whether you're doing okay or not.
Nothing. No
Cause
test
why?
results.
I'm just a
nothing.
friend.
I'm just a friend. We never made it to where we got married and became one.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to,
Mhm.
but we never got to that point.
Because we never had opportunity to sit down and discuss what our future is going to be
That's
like.
it. That's it. That's
And my
it.
brothers and sisters, sit down with your family and discuss what your future is going to be like.
Hmm.
Because I'm telling you, when you do this in, your future is going to get brighter and brighter and brighter.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times our kids don't know how to go about doing this in, because we don't know how to do it, go about doing it.
That's it. Or we've always done it all, and we didn't want to just sit down and just spend the time to teach them how
Exactly.
to do this.
Exactly.
Do they, as you said before, do they know how to write a check? Do
Mhm.
they know what a checkbook is?
Balance.
Do they know how to save? Do they know how to balance a
Mhm.
checkbook? We got some grown folk that don't know how to balance a
Mhm.
checkbook
All right, a check.
or write a check. We got grown folk that they rather have just a savings account
Mhm.
and not have a checking account. Don't have credit cards because they don't know how to manage it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. I know you have
I'm
something
telling
for
you,
our
brothers
part
and
too.
sisters, welcome to the second part of our segment, Forever Growing,
Yes.
because you are forever growing.
hmm
Let me discuss something very briefly with you about your dreams and your desires.
Yes, yes.
The
Great
greatest
topic.
depth of intimacy you and your spouse experience in marriage isn't physical intimacy. It's not even emotional intimacy. The most profound connection in marriage is spiritual.
Hmm.
Spiritual intimacy is a sense of unity and mutual commitment to God's purpose for your lives and marriage.
Hmm.
It's a special respect for the deepest dreams each of you cries out for. As with emotional intimacy, cultivating spiritual intimacy requires value, energy, sacrifice, and trust. I'm going to say it again. As with emotional intimacy, cultivating spiritual intimacy requires value, energy, sacrifice, and trust. The first topic I want to give you, I value God's purpose for your life and the dreams of your heart.
Hmm.
I value God's purpose for your life and the dreams of your heart.
Hmm.
A godly marriage is when two people get together and both are created in God's image and recognize God's call on their lives.
Hmm.
They become a team in which both help each other achieve their full potential in God, both individual and as a couple. Now, this means the husband is not the most important person in the relationship, neither is the wife. So there's no happy wife, happy life. They call happy spouse, happy house.
All right, all right.
So neither is the wife. Both of you partner with God to lift up the other. Instead of thinking you're here for me, you begin to think I'm here for you.
Hmm.
As a spouse, your job is to be a dream maker and not a dream breaker.
Okay.
The second one is I commit to pursuing God individually and together to find and fulfill God's call on my life, your life, and our marriage. I'm
Hmm.
gonna say that again. I commit to pursuing God individually and together to find and fulfill God's call on my life, your life, and our marriage. This is the energy aspect of building spiritual intimacy. Like any part of marriage, you have to put in the effort.
Hmm.
This means spending the time to pray together, to see God together, to worship together, and to talk openly to each other about your dreams and desires. Together, you have to seek Him and invite Him into your relationship. The third one is our sacrifices, the desires to only promote myself or worry about myself.
Hmm.
I sacrifice the desires to only promote myself or worry about myself. That means I put those things aside.
Hmm.
In the garden, the devil never attacked Adam
Right.
when he was alone. The devil only got involved when God created Eve to be Adam's companion.
Hmm.
And the reason why two are stronger than one. That's important to realize within marriage. It's not about you as an individual, it's about the two of you as a team. Both of you have to sacrifice the natural selfishness humans are born with, set it aside. The strongest marriages are made of two sacrificial servants who look out for each other's interests instead of their own.
Hmm.
The fourth one, I will create an atmosphere of trust where you can share your deepest spiritual desires and know I will honor them.
Wow.
I got to say that again.
Hmm.
I will create an atmosphere of trust where you can share your deepest spiritual desires and know I will honor them.
Hmm.
And that's go both ways, brothers and sisters. Researchers shows that couples' biggest fights are on a dream level. Did y'all hear that right there?
Hmm.
Other people value an orderly home or minimize stress. Minimum stress. Their heart cries out for it, whether that's something you value or not. You have to help meet that need for your spouse. You have to honor that dream and create an atmosphere that supports that dream in your marriage. Honoring your spouse's deeper desire requires value, energy, sacrifice, and trust. To cultivate spiritual intimacy as yourself, this question: am I a dream maker for my spouse or am I a heartbreaker for my spouse?
Hmm.
Dreams and desire.
Wow. Well, we have to think about that thing seriously. Being able to share your dreams and desires, because sometimes we have dream killers.
Dream breakers.
dream breakers, right in our house, right in our bed, right in our home, family members, and that sort of thing. I have Swanelia Pierre that I mentioned a little earlier. She's with Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage, and she sent me her information. For anyone that's interested, 727 oh, that's my number. Uh, but she can call in at 727-731-0128. She can call in to share. But her number is 772-267-1853. And that's Swanelia Pierre. I'll put that information out there. She is a benefits coordinator for Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. Same day coverage, cash insurance benefits, family support services. And I've seen her postings on Facebook to where she was able to help different people be able to obtain life insurance and that sort of thing. And that's so important. We need to have connection with someone that can help us, that can be able to connect us. We get like uncomfortable sometimes when we go to talk about insurance. We get uncomfortable when it comes time to talk about being able to invest in ourselves, being able to invest in life insurance. We get nervous. You know, like, oh, first thing we say is, you know what, we don't want to jinx ourselves. We don't want to cut our life short. Well, guess what you're going to do if you leave someone else out there, and they have to pay all the bills. They have to support what it is that you've done, because you forgot to get your house in order, because you forgot to be a good steward over your finances. It happens very easily. Something that we decided to invest in, then all of a sudden that investment crashes, and then something happens to you. And when that thing happens to you, then a lot of times someone else has to come behind you and take up the slack. So I'm putting her information out there. Her name is Swanelia Pierre, benefits coordinator, and she's with Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. You can reach out to her and let her know that you heard it on Hanging with the Walkers, and she'll be able to give you some good prices, some good information. She'll be able to help you come to the reality that yes, I do need life insurance. Yes, I do need to look out for myself. Um, if you want to call in now, you can, Swanelia, 727-731-0128. Again, she is from Lincoln Heritage. She's a benefits coordinator for Lincoln Heritage Funeral Advantage. And I just thank God for her. Every time she has presented information, we've allowed an opportunity. We had an I Do Fit youth conference in Fort Pierce, and she was able to share with the company that she was with, to give us some information about life and health insurance. So I just thank God for what He's doing, how He's connecting us with people that can help
That's right.
our Hanging with the Walkers family.
That's right.
Oh my goodness, that create an atmosphere of trust and that spiritual intimacy. You know, we talk about intimacy, that if we've never been able to become intimate with Christ, there's no way we'll be able to become intimate
For one another.
with one another.
That's right.
We think going all the way means intimacy. That's not intimacy. We're bonding, being able to be fulfilling before we get to that point. And then to have spiritual intimacy, to be able to tap into the very heart of God, something that we know that is going to calm our fears, something that we know that is going to allow us to feel the love of God with spiritual intimacy. How powerful is that? I text Tanisha a little earlier, and I say, "Are you going to call in and bless us? You know, for the anniversary." But I understand and know sometimes they may not be in a place to
Right.
share. But listen, it doesn't stop me from being a little selfish and saying, "Hey, can you share? Can you share your gift with us?" Oh my God, this has been a very awesome topic on tonight. Get your house in order and being able to be good stewards of your finances.
That's right.
And as you said, It's not about us. We have to teach our young people.
That's right.
We have to teach them what good credit means. You know, we laugh about it now, but remember a long time ago, they used to have lights in your name and cable in your name and telephone bills in your name long time ago.
So dollar bill is obsolete. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's fading away, and you need credit now to get an apartment. You need credit to get car
I
insurance. You need
know.
credit to get a job.
Mhm.
I mean, credit is everywhere now,
Yes.
and that's what they're going by.
Mhm.
So we have to teach our kids how to maintain good credit, how to
Yes.
build that credit, how to build a foundation
Yes.
and move forward in their credit, and how
Mhm.
to protect their credit at
Mhm.
all costs.
And they teach you how to be able to steward your finances. They teach them now at a young age, those that want to learn about the banking system, about the checking accounts, and how to write a check, and how to start a savings account, and what to do when you do get your little money. You know how you're supposed to do this and this, and encouraging them to pay their tithes. So, like I said, we are so blessed on tonight to be able to share this information with you. Shout out again to Swanilla Pierre for sharing this information with us so that we can share it with you. Again, you can look on our friends list for Pastor Leslie Harrell that also writes insurance. Are able to lead you to someone that can get you into some good insurance for your family. We have the North Law Firm that has family law as a part of their business. If you have questions or information that you need to look up to become educated about, make an appointment, make a consultation appointment with them to discuss things that are going on in your family as far as finances are concerned, to be able to help you make the right decision. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for tapping in on tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for your follows. Thank you so much for your likes. Thank you so much for sharing this post, because someone you know needs to hear it. Someone you know needs the information. Someone you know
That's right.
has actually been searching and looking for it.
That's right.
And you say, oh, hey, they just talked about that on Hanging with the Walkers last night.
And you talk with them every day.
Yes. So let me share this video with you so that you can get the information yourself.
That's right.
And if all else fails, inbox us, text us. We can get you connected to the right people.
That's right.
We love you just that
And
much.
whatever you need.
That's it. That's it. In whatever area. And we're so excited about our next month. We have some awesome people that's going to share information, businesses, opportunities on next month, testimonials, healing, directions that God has given them. So we're excited about the upcoming month. Oh, listen, she said, sure. 727-731-0128. Call in, Tanisha, before we hang up. We ready. 727-731-0128. She says she ready. Oh, not yet. Well, I'm just getting the phone ready. So when she call in, I just love to hear her sing. She has a beautiful voice and a beautiful spirit.
But she don't want to hear me sing, y'all.
Yes, I do.
If I didn't care.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tanisha. What?
I'll finna take your place.
Listen, keep it going. That's how you started off, and next thing you know, you're gonna be amazing. Well, you already amazing, but she's gonna be calling on you then.
That's what I'm talking about, sister. Thank you so much.
Well, good evening to our audience on tonight. We have the amazing Tanisha Hill from Fort Pierce, Florida. Jairus, I always mess that up, don't I? Jairus Kitchen in Fort Pierce. Her and her awesome husband. I tell you, Don Hill, we appreciate them for what they do in the community. They even hooked them up over in Fort Pierce after Hurricane Milton. So we're so thankful for them and their services and what they give. So tonight she's going to bless us in song. So hold on to your seats and take it away, Tanisha Hill.
And you said it was your anniversary for you two, or for the show?
For us.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So this is a love song dedicated to you two.
All right. All
I'll help
right.
you out.
He gonna background for you.
Okay. So I found love
Mm.
in you. And I've learned to love me too. Never have I felt that I could be all that you see. It's like our hearts have intertwined into the perfect harmony. This is why I love you.
Yes.
Oh, this is why I love you. Because you love me.
Mm.
You love me. This is why I love you.
Yes.
Ooh, because you love me. You love me. And I found
Yes,
love
sir.
in you. And no other love will do. Every moment that you smile chases all the pain away. Forever in a while, and my heart is where you'll stay. This is why I love you.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is why I love you. Because you love me. You love me. This is why I love you. This is why I love you. Because you love me. You love me. And I found love in you.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you.
you. Listen, and hitting them notes too. You better go, girl. And we love that song. We love that song. This is why I love you. Oh my God. And how awesome is that to choose that particular song to dedicate to us? Any special reason?
You know, so that we can remember sometimes life gets so cloudy. And
Yes.
I was just talking about this today. When you are a server and you're making a difference in the world for people and you have to be in place to be there for others, sometimes, your love life or your loved ones can feel a little bit abandoned
Mhm.
or, like they need you a little bit more, but we have to realize, and Pastor Rogers, you touched on it a little bit, knowing what our spiritual connection is. And if we got
Yes.
that spiritual connection, we'll remember the reasons why God has put us together and the things that we love about each other and the things that make us intertwine as one.
Mhm.
So that is why I chose that song for you guys.
Oh, thank you.
To
Thank you.
encourage you as you encourage others to encourage you that God put y'all together for a reason and you are making a difference and you're reaching the mat.
Wow. Thank you so much. How powerful is that? I'm not gonna do it tonight. He always say every time I look around, you're always crying on the show. I'm I'm doing good. I'm doing good. But thank you so much for blessing our audience with your voice. Thank you for that beautiful dedication. And again, if you're ever in the Fort Pierce area, Jairus Kitchen, I'm telling you, them some cooking folk over there. They're doing some great things in the community. Her and her husband, Don Hill. She's an amazing young lady. She's been around for a while, blessing schools and services and homegoings and some of those services we talked about. She's been able to stand up and minister to the family in song after they've laid their loved one to rest. She blessed our apostle at her appreciation with her gift. And those that know the words of prayer that really can get a word through, please keep Tanisha Hill and her husband Don Hill covered in your prayers. So thank you so much for tapping in on tonight and blessing us with your voice. He's still smiling, girl. He's still smiling.
I just wet my whistle. I'm about to blow. That's why I'm smiling. You think I'm gonna let her come on my show and not sing me? You gotta be kidding me.
Listen, you've been doing a little bit.
We from the West Coast. Shoot.
Yeah.
Babe, she gonna do a duet with you. Go ahead. She gonna catch you.
She got to practice some more. Do a duet with me. You are so beautiful.
You better sing, babe.
To me.
You better sing.
Can't you see?
Hit that note. Hit that note.
You're everything I hope for.
Baby, get that vibrato, babe.
I'm
Do it.
done. I'm gonna start right there. I'm gonna start right there. They're gonna be trying to call me out to sing and stuff. I'm gonna start right there.
Oh my God! See what you brought out of him? You brought the good. You brought the sunshine out of him. You gotta go, babe.
I'm trying to.
Yes.
Hey,
Thank you so much. Please tell Mr. Don we said hey and we
Yes,
love
ma'am.
him.
I will.
All
I
right.
will. Love you too.
Love
Good
you
night.
too. Good
good night,
night.
y'all.
That was the one and only.
Rogers Walker.
And the one and only Tanisha Hill.
Hill.
All
Amen.
right, all right. Thank you,
That's
y'all.
it.
See what I mean? You know, sometimes you have to hang up and you can't get back on and all this kind of stuff. But see what blessings you have for staying until the end. You know, the pastor tell you in church, it's a blessing in staying to the benediction. Well, on hanging with the walkers, it is a blessing to stay on until the end.
Cause you would have missed me on the night. I'm
Oh,
telling
right,
you, you would have missed me. Woo!
Right.
Again,
Yeah,
you better go
yeah.
tell somebody, Pastor, put that thing down. Woo! I ain't know the boy can sing. Woo! That boy good.
And you can catch him live on YouTube because his video will be available on Barbara Walker 6795 on YouTube. Please subscribe to our channel, and you better believe I'm sending it to everybody.
Listen, I do backyards, I do carporch, I do garages,
Barbecue.
I do in the cars,
Uh-huh.
and I do in the shower.
Uh-huh.
Holla at your boy.
So if you need somebody to sing a song to your loved one,
Holla at your boy.
holla at your boy so
Holla
he
at your
can
boy.
do a singogram.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
That's right, babe.
Okay.
That's right.
And that's also you need a singogram.
That's right.
Hook up
That's right.
Tanisha. Say, hey, Tanisha, I
That's
got
right.
somebody I need you to sing to, huh?
That's right.
Let me drop a couple of coins in your cash app. I need you to sing to one of my loved ones.
Yes, call me. Put some coins in my cash app. I'll sing. I'm here. I'm available all the time, 24/7.
Listen, I can't with him. I gotta go. I can't with him. Have an awesome evening. On tomorrow, 5:30 to 6. Prayer birthing room with Apostle Lenny Roy, followed by community Bible study with the one and only Rogers Walker, senior pastor of Connecting in the Spirit Outreach Ministries Incorporated. The topic, the series, The Power of Words. Amen. So we're looking forward to a high time on tomorrow.
right.
Listen, thank you for hanging in there to the end. Know that we love you and truly there's nothing you can do about it. And hey,
Peace.
peace.